Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
This segment is sponsored by AIM Acupuncture and Integrative Medicine. Thanks for joining us today again on Living Local Carolina. I'm back at AIM Acupuncture, and today I'm talking with Chris. Chris, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Terrific.
Let's talk a little bit about what brought you to AIM Acupuncture back in November.
Okay. Well, basically, I realized I had developed a bad case of foot neuropathy. And after a lot of pain and trouble, I decided to seek help, and I saw an ad and I decided to give a call and see what was going on here. And AIM gave me a good evaluation, and they said, you know, let's try this, let's try that. And we started, and 2 months later, here I am, and very satisfied with the results so far.
I'm glad. What were some of the symptoms you were experiencing?
Oh, it feels like you're walking on broken glass. You can't keep your balance. You really can't feel your feet after a while. Yeah. And even when you're laying in bed, I mean, it's painful. You try to move your feet and you don't know where they're going. And it's a scary thing to happen.
How is it affecting your daily life?
My daily life was almost non-existent at one point because I just couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't move. I couldn't walk.
Gosh. So this has been a pretty life-changing thing to add to your life.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what the treatments have looked like.
The treatments are basically pretty simple. They're basically acupuncture, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a couple of electrodes. They hook you up, and there's some I don't know, low level, I guess, electric that goes through some of the needles. But it's a relatively simple procedure. It takes longer to set up and take it apart than it does for the actual treatment. The treatment itself lasts about 20-25 minutes. And that's it. I mean, I come in a few times a week. And like I say, at this point, after 2 months, I'm feeling a big difference already.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right, so how are you feeling now that you've been getting these treatments done for a couple months? What have you been able to get back to?
Well, I could actually get up and walk again.
That is good.
That's a great thing, yeah. Mm-hmm. I could get up, I could walk, I could do things that I couldn't do before because I just couldn't move. I couldn't feel my feet. I didn't know where I was standing. So at least now I know what I'm doing and where I'm going, and I still need some more treatment, but at least I've got a pretty good idea of where I'm going now, and looking forward to being how it was before the neuropathy ever set in.
Yeah. I love that AIM also treats you kind of like a member of their family. Everyone is so nice here.
They're great here. I mean, everybody knows you by your first name, and they treat you great, and you get a great greeting as soon as you walk in. Everybody says goodbye when you leave. Maybe they're happy to see you go. I don't know, but
I'm sure they're not happy to see you go. They just want you to feel better.
Yeah, they do. They really do. They're very caring. And Dr. Tanya is great also. I mean, she's, she checks up on you and makes sure that everything is going well. And, I really have no disappointments or nothing negative to say about the treatment here at AIM. I mean, I've been to other places and it's like, okay, fine, you're done, get out, that type of stuff. But here it's like, take your time, take as long as you need, if you need to sit here and relax for a while. And everything's great.
Doesn't get better than that.
No, absolutely not.
All right, for somebody watching right now who's a little skeptical, what would you say to them?
Don't give it a second thought, do it. Because the longer you wait, the worse things are going to get, and coming here to AIM is probably the smartest thing I've done in a long time.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with me.
You're quite welcome, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks again for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined by money coach Dana Wolf. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Katie?
I'm doing good. Let's get down to basics here.
You got it.
You have some tips on how people can learn how to budget.
That's right. Budgeting is all about planning before the month happens. Okay, there are only, it's very simple, 4 things. You need to plan it, you need to balance it, because we don't want to go backwards, we want to go forward. We want to communicate it, and then we want to live it. So a couple of different tools that I use, the budget envelopes for certain things like groceries. If I have a $100 grocery budget, it goes in this envelope, and that's what I get to spend, and I'm not going to go over budget. It might be clothing, it might be just miscellaneous money, because those things can trip us up. Another thing I like to use is what's called a budget book, and some people use apps. I like to do it the old-fashioned way with paper and pen. I want to see myself making progress, and I also want to be able to have something that I can put my slips in. If I'm going to the grocery store, cash or debit at all times, I want to be able to record it so I can come up with a budget, and then at the end of the year I can actually look back and see how well I did. Other people like computers. I do a lot of spreadsheets. I like to be able to track, so having a spreadsheet is really important as well. But the communication part is really key. You need to understand your mindset when it comes to money. You need to know, are you a spender or a saver? Do you like to have the abundant opportunities and lots of opportunities, or do you want just a one-time opportunity, like when it comes to vacations? Do you want to do lots of them, or do you want to just do one very expensive vacation, okay? What is your mindset when it comes to money? And what is, if you're married, your partner's mindset?
I was gonna say that's huge to
It
talk
is.
to your partner about that sort of thing.
It is, because there's so many different things that you need to know. A lot of people like to save, some people like to spend, a lot of people like to give. Are we going to be spontaneously giving, or are we going to plan our giving? So there's so many different aspects of money, and each person is here, we're all individuals, each person is here to have a purpose here, and we just need to be able to communicate what that purpose is.
Love that. So if people are saving up for something big or want some help, how can they get in contact with you?
Very simple, Dana Wolf, financial coach. Just Google that or go to my website, First Step Financial Solutions.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined in studio by Becky from the Champion Autism Network. Becky, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Tell me, how did you get involved with CAN in the first place?
I created CAN.
Okay.
So I have a son who's high functioning on the spectrum. We relocated here from the South Jersey area 11 years ago. And you know, there's all these wonderful organizations that support the person with autism, you know, therapies and speech and ABA, but there's nothing for the family. And so we started in 2013 with our sensory friendly movies. People came out to them and they were so excited to be somewhere where everybody got it and understood. They asked what else was there. So we took surveys and collected data, and we started a training program for restaurants, because that was the #1 thing our parents wanted to do. So we started to educate restaurants, and then I was like, okay, if you're gonna, like I said, invite the autism world to come out and play, everybody needs to know how to treat them and what's going on. So the travel initiative started in 2016, and that's when we became a 501c3 and incorporated, and we've just been kind of off and running ever since.
You're really covering all the bases, though, from the educational standpoint to actually just providing them something to do. But from your standpoint, what has it felt like being able to actually educate somebody that had no idea what autism was? How does that feel to you as a mom, too?
It's really wonderful and refreshing, you know, and it's not embraced by everybody or every business, and that's okay, right? We're just happy that most businesses and people in the community feel it's the right thing to do. And really, it's not rocket science. Generally speaking, you know, you just have to kind of lead with love, and like in a restaurant or pretty much anywhere, if you have light switches and a volume control, you're halfway there in supporting people. Then it's just learning tips and tricks about, you know, what to do, how to treat people these autism families in your restaurants or your stores or at your resorts, and what kind of support they might need, and then what to look out for in case there's a runner or an eloper, how to handle that situation.
A little patience goes a long way too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everybody. Today, I am at not your typical salon. I am at Bad Hair Salon, and I am with Krista and Leslie. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course, thanks for being here.
Oh my goodness. We have a lot to talk about today. Let's first talk about what makes Bad Hair different than other places.
Okay, so what makes us a little bit different from other salons is we really pride ourselves in being able to offer different options for our guests. So right now you are in our downstairs offering, and this is our high-performing clean beauty experience. So we use high-performing clean beauty options and more plant-based and naturally derived product offerings, and as far as our styling products to our hair color line, all the support that you can have with lessening your chemical footprint. So we are one of the only salons that I think in this area that is a green circle salon. So what that means for us is all of our waste but food is recycled. So our extra color, our foils, our single-use items, our gloves, hair clippings. So hair clippings go towards humanitarian efforts for oil spills. Wow. They go back into making some of the bins that we recycle with. The extra hair color goes into renewable clean energy. So yeah, it's something that we really are proud of, and then it lets the guests feel like they are also making a difference by being a guest of ours. So.
But I can imagine a big component of this also is education.
Yes.
Because for me, I don't know if I would ever think about, how many foils are used or tubes of color. Yep. So what has been the response from people whenever you actually get to teach them something when they come in here?
They absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they feel good about being here and being serviced here by our stylists because they're actually doing something for the community, for the earth, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, they feel like they're making a difference. I'm really glad that you brought up education because that is a key value here at Bad Hair Salon. Mm-hmm. We very much pride ourselves in educating our guests through the whole experience. Yes. Mm-hmm. From the time they meet us on social media from our lovely marketing manager, our website, to the time they walk in the door to the time they leave. We really want to raise awareness that the beauty industry, unfortunately, is the second most polluting industry in the world. So the before it is automotive, and we are here to change that and make a difference.
I love that.
We actually have a Green Year community event coming up in April for Earth Month.
Yes.
It's going to be on April 27th and 28th. We're opening up our doors to the community so they can come in and they can recycle all their hair care products that they don't use anymore, like aerosol cans, broken hair dryers, broken curling irons, straighteners. Maybe if they wanted to donate some hair as well, if they cut their hair at home, which you shouldn't do.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. But if you did.
Yeah. But if you did, just bring them in. And so we'll be open for that all day. And if they bring something to get recycled, they get 20% off their whole retail purchase in here.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
Yes.
And then on the 28th, which is Sunday, from 12 to 2, we're opening it up to other hair salons to see if they'd be interested in signing up for Green Circle Salon as well, just to share the movement. You can look at our Instagram at Bad Hair, and then our Facebook is Bad Hair as well, BADDHARE. We have Facebook events going on that you can check out all the time, and then our website is www.badhair.com, and we also post our events on there as well, and other information you can book online. You can schedule
We have a free app.
a free app.
We launched that this year. Bad
We
Hair
have the
Salon
Bad Hair app available on iOS and Android.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fancy stuff.
We don't mess around, Katie.
Yep. You
I
can
love that.
reschedule, schedule. You can buy products. You can buy gift cards.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much.
This has
Thank
been so
you.
much fun. Thank you, Katie.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.